Going for boost. Well, I think going for boost, if you're a boost merchant, like someone like AJ or someone, you go for boost.
100% of the time.
Yes.
Always, every second of every game. Ball's going in your net, don't worry about it. Go get the boost and make sure you've got the full 100 to celebrate with the other team.
Oh God. Never. Yeah, never. Always go for ball.
Yeah.
Number one rule of Rocket League.
Welcome to the Boost Over Ball podcast, where three aggressively average Rocket League players talk about everything Rlcs with your hosts, Ace, Code Red Jack, Kyle Cube, and AJ Binky. So, if you've ever wondered when the best time to go for Boost Over Ball is, you've come to the right place.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Boost Over Ball podcast. This is a little bit different of a venue for us. We're doing a live recording on this one. This will also get posted to YouTube and then to all of our... This is Rocket League! Thanks for the follow. Yeah, just in time. Rez, we're in VC if you want to join VC.
Raspberries.
Okay, well... But all these all this, like the audio will still go out to podcasts, to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, all the places that you listen to your podcasts. So we're going to do it a little bit differently this time. Oh man, first time chatters. But so.
Did he die?
I think we lost him.
Oh, yeah.
That happens more
no.
often than it probably should. Especially when he's streaming.
But I shouldn't be dying.
Yeah, you shouldn't be.
Am I back?
Yeah, you are back.
Okay. I have fiber. I don't know why it does
Welcome
that.
back.
Whatever.
You
Whatever.
do?
What?
Maybe fiber just sucks.
Maybe it does.
Maybe we've just all been lied to.
Maybe we have. But either way, this is the second time we're recording this today, so if you're coming back to the stream, you may get some different takes this time, some different stuff. Some user error. I forgot to auto-save the VOD, so I couldn't post this anywhere else, so we're gonna run this back. Yeah, I'm about the same, Raz, so here we go. But I'm a walking billboard this time. I decided to put on all the merch we got. I got the coffee mug too, so let's run it back. I'm here with AJ Binky and Flash Pandy. How's it going, guys?
Happy to be here. Happy to be here for the first/second live stream.
I'll do anything but work right now.
I feel that.
Just keep me away from work.
But we got Raspberries is in the chat too. He's been on a couple episodes with us in San Diego, so he may jump into VC at some point. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. But the reason we're all here today, the reason we're doing a quote unquote emergency episode of the podcast, is Rocket League Esports tweeted again. They tweeted out the announcement for RLCS 24, and we have some interesting takes on it. Some positives, some negatives, things like that. So we'll be going through that, but let's start with the intro. So hello everyone and welcome back to the Boost Over Ball podcast. To listeners new and old, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. You already know who we're here with, but we're talking about RLCS and the new season that they just announced. But without further ado, let's jump right in. RL Esports tweeted, the RLCS 2024 season is finally here. Starts with an open qualifier 1 on January 26th. We're increasing open competition, focusing on long-term sustainability and widening prizing for more players than ever before. Registration opens next week. That's a pretty quick turnaround. What do you guys think?
Pretty quick turnaround. I mean, from what I've seen, a lot of pros are very unhappy with that turnaround time. They're kind of just like, hey, we've been in the dark for 8 months. Now we start in 2 weeks after finally finding out that we are going to have a season. That's kind of insanity to me. But yeah, the main, I guess, review is mostly negative to me.
I would tend to agree. With that, let's jump into the format. So like we said before, they're trying to focus on sustainability and widening the prize pools. So with that being said, we are moving from 3 splits to 2 splits. So there will be 2 in-person majors, LAN events, international LAN events, and 1 world championship. And to qualify for these major events, it will be comprised of 3 open double elimination style brackets to determine the top 16, a 16-team Swiss bracket to determine the top 8 teams, and then 8 single elimination brackets to determine the standings in each region. You gain points from each of these 3 events that they have, and the top point earners from each region will qualify for the major. So, maybe something we've seen a little bit before with the 3 events per split. We've certainly seen double elimination. We've certainly seen Swiss, and we've certainly seen single elim. What are your first thoughts on format?
It's honestly, it kind of feels like, I'm not really comparing it to OG RLCS, but this kind of format seems like something that's thrown together for like a first time league, in my opinion. Like, I don't know, it just seems really small to me. Like a single elimination bracket to determine standings in each region. You get 1 shot. If you lose a series, your whole split is done, or it could just be ruined. Whereas with last season, you have the point system, right? So you have the Open, the Cup, and the Invitational, all chances to get points towards that major and towards Worlds. It just seems like there's a lot more structure in the past. Now it's just kind of like, hey, here's a couple tournaments to decide if you make a lot of money. I don't know. Just it doesn't seem like the best, most structured format, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you, but I also like from a competitive from a viewer standpoint, this could be better viewing. I don't know if that like truly makes sense. So
Higher
like,
stakes.
I have the 2024 schedule up on the screen right now. Each like they're calling them open qualifiers, so like open qualifier number 1, number 2, and number 3. But that's like basically just regionals, right? So it's an open qualifier for So I'll bring up the calendar. So for this first one, it's the 26th through the 28th. So that's like the first open qualifier weekend, and then moving into the Swiss stage, 2 weeks or 3 weeks from Friday on February 2nd. And then you have the single elimination stage that weekend on the Saturday and Sunday. And then once that one's over, you wait, for the double elimination stage a week later, and you start it all over again. So there's no guaranteed spots. There's no invitations. You have to qualify through the open qualifier, it seems. And, quite frankly, I think that could be good for Rocket League. Right, so you're like towards, and I hate using them as an example because they're a pillar of the Rocket League community. But NRG, towards the end of last season, were making events based on their point standings that they had accumulated from the first split, and they had really fallen off a cliff, and they were still making events, kind of taking an invitational spot away from someone else. Whereas now, if you're not performing, you're not making it at all.
And I think that is, now that you say that is a cooler way to approach things. It forces teams to be hot all the time instead of being really good at the start of the season and then falling off, but still making it based on their previous performance. Like there's higher stakes involved, which is more of a viewer's pleasure.
Yeah, and like on top of that, the season is like the same length still, but there's not as many events, right? So we've gone from having 3 splits with 3 regionals and 3 majors, right? So 12 events total plus a world championship, to now having 8 events plus a world championship. So you're minimizing the amount of competitions by 4, which I think as a viewer kind of sucks. You're removing a split, but I think it's more sustainable. I think that there's less, like, there will hopefully be less burnout. Potentially it makes every series worth more, right? It's like if you can't really like cruise your way through the third split if you've kind of stomped everybody in the first two, like you said.
Yeah, I'm excited either way. I'm just ready for it to be back in whatever capacity that it involves. I mean, we may not have. I mean, they say quality over quantity, so hopefully these are higher quality events. To me, I'm not entirely like fond of the format just yet, but I haven't seen it, so I am certainly interested to see what happens. This, though, I will say, is more of it's more gives more leeway to the teams that aren't as consistent, or they aren't as, like, I don't know how to put it, like elevates, like elevate, how elevate almost beat Vitality in the spring major last year, in one of the series. Like, if that happens, this kind of format is more giving to teams that need to upset to win. You could really screw a team over if you upset them.
Yeah.
So upsets are they weigh a lot more in this format, which I think is actually really cool. So
I think
I'm
it makes
excited
the
to see what
viewing
happens
better.
with that. Yeah, for sure. Higher stakes, like, kind of goes back to that.
Yeah, but one thing we do have to talk about, in my opinion, probably the biggest head scratcher of this entire announcement and the biggest like downfall of this entire announcement. They've only released one set of dates for all of these open qualifiers, which then means every region is doing all of these things on the same day.
Awful.
Like, especially for like
How
someone
can
like us,
anybody plan anything around that?
I don't know.
Production is going to be stretched so thin.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. And also, like, for us on the podcast, for other people who cover RLCS, how are you possibly going to keep up with everything? Like, you're watching RLCS from 7 a.m. till, almost midnight for, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for 6 weeks in a row.
I'm going to have to break out the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th monitors, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, no kidding.
Not implying that I have 6 already, but I'm going to need to buy more. I'm just going to have to set aside days for Rocket League only.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it's coming down to.
I mean, as somebody that works in the production field, I can't imagine how stretched thin these production teams are going to be, whether it's team streams, whether it's like RLCS A and B. Like, it's kind of ridiculous how the viewership is going to be so spread apart as far as Twitch streams go.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not going to be, I mean, that really lowers the amount of games that can be streamed. So we'll see.
I mean, we talked about it on the episode that went live this morning, right? Like, that's Blast's problem now.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they're there for. So, maybe this was always the goal, but it does not. This part doesn't seem sustainable, right? This is the only part of it that doesn't seem sustainable, is the fact that everybody's going to be playing on the same day. Like, you could be a huge Crew fan living in North America, and you're not, like, but you're also a big G2 fan, and they're playing at the same time. What do you do?
It would be fun to watch APAC at a normal time or watch Amina at a normal time, but at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of looked forward to waking up at like 3 in the morning or however late and watching an OCE Rocket League stream, knowing that it's on at like crazy hours of the night. I have content to watch.
Yeah,
Instead, it's all crammed into one place. It's just like,
I used to
make for a
wake up
unique
every morning
experience.
at like 6 o'clock for work, and then like on the weekends I'd still wake up at 6 because I've been doing it for so long, and like wake up just in time to catch quarterfinals till the end of of APAC RLCS. So it's like, I mean, I'm with you. I don't see how anyone's going to be able to consume all of this Rocket League. I mean, we have some of the responses on the original tweet is, Chrissy says RLCS for 6 weekends straight and all regions playing on the same dates. This viewing experience is going to be interesting. Like, I couldn't agree more. Like, it's just going to be an absolute cluster.
I mean, think about the players too. I mean, you granted, it's probably going to be Rocket League from midnight to midnight on those days streams, but just imagine like if you're an APAC team or an OCE team or a MENA team and you play at what 6 a.m. Eastern in APAC, how are they going to coordinate that while also because I mean NA Rocket League, what time does that go live usually? 10 a.m. I mean, it's going to overlap so much. I mean, these players are just crammed all together. I don't know. It's ridiculous. I don't. I hope I'm proven wrong though.
I mean, I kind of hope so too. But we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see. But thankfully, at least now we know we only have to wait 2 weeks.
True. At least they're not like, hey, RLCS starts in March.
Yeah. So, but also that being said, based on this schedule, it would appear to me that the RLCS major number 1 will be the last weekend in March, because that'd be the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st of March. Because the transfer window, it says on here, is from the 1st to the 14th. That would make the most sense to me. But also, you're kind of playing with fire a little bit, starting your transfer window on April 1st.
April Fools.
I mean, I already got I got rickrolled with these RLCS
G2, hey,
announcements.
we're dropping our whole team.
Did you see that RLCS announcement from the account that was really similar to RL Esports, except the link was just to the rickroll?
No.
Oh my god, that I saw it looked so real, and I was like, oh my god, what? And then I was like, I have tweet notifications on. I wonder why it didn't go off. And I clicked on it, and I was like, oh, I got got.
That'd be funny on April Fools. Like every team says, "Hey, we're trading our team to this team." Like
the first ever straight up 3-player trade both ways.
Energy and SSG just swap rosters for a day.
Jeez.
April Fools.
But also another thing that we have our major 1, our major 2, almost like 2 separate circuits, so to speak. And then, that should be done at the end of June. So then that leaves July, 2 full months basically for the World Championships, which allows teams to boot camp, to get ready, to prepare, which I think is fantastic. And then, you have your World Championships that probably finish mid-September, which then leaves about a 4-month off season.
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
3 months, 3.5 months probably.
That's basically just what we've just experienced, but there's just a Worlds in between it.
Yeah, it's a third of the offseason we've currently had.
You're gonna have things like the tactical banditry, the draw, probably coming right back up with that downtime between the second major and the Worlds. A third. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens, but I mean, I still think that it's more sustainable for the players. So I'm intrigued to see how this plays out for them. But we have some. We'll go back to some replies now. We have some negative thoughts here from some of the players. Okay, now I can't find it. I gotta maybe AJ. Maybe he deleted the tweet. I feel like he didn't, but we'll double check. So he said, what?
Oh, the pro.
Yeah,
Okay,
AJ.
Yeah, not this loser.
Very much not listening to you.
Yeah, not this loser.
And lost in my work world, unfortunately.
M80 AJ. So that's another thing we need to talk about. The fact that we're dropping a major spot for NA and EU. It's 4 NA, 4 EU, 2 MENA, 2 SAM, 2 OCE, 1 APAC, 1 SSA.
That's crazy.
So, with that being said, AJ tweets, less major spots, prize pool lowered by 1.7 million. The top 128 teams get prize money. There's only 2 splits. There's a 3-month break from Worlds and the second split. Let's go shout out RLCS and everyone involved for trying their absolute best to bring our game to the next level. Less world spots and all regions will be played on the same day. It keeps getting better.
like not only did they drop the prize money by 1.7 million dollars, they're spreading it out to top 128. Well,
Yeah.
so the higher end teams get less money.
Yeah, there's less money to go to spread over more people.
I mean,
Like somebody was joking, it's like, what, is everybody gonna get $5? It kind of seems that way.
it really does. I mean,
Seriously.
Thank you for the follow.
You got Gamers 8 giving $2 million for a weekend tournament instead of the entire season like RLCS. Man, it just it's unfortunate because the recent announcements that have been made, a lot of it's like, awesome, we got gameplay coming up, and it's like, oh, we didn't see the other side of the hill. That's just a drop off. It's just, I don't know. There's so many positives and then just so many negatives to go alongside it.
Yeah,
And I keep going back to the old saying of I hope I'm proven wrong, but I don't know, man.
I mean, I hope so too. But like again, we come to the same point. Like you look at the like a lot of the people that are like tweeting, like replying to this tweet, like, long have we waited, it's finally here. Very like, you know, good to see you again. We are so back. It's time, rejoice, strap in. Like everyone's like excited to hear an announcement, right? Because it's been so long since we've heard anything about RLCS. So it's like, you know, they're still trying to solve the problem that they themselves created without, like, in lack of communication. Like we talked, like Panda, you and I have talked about this like a couple times on a few episodes.
Yeah.
Like I don't see how this goes well for them.
This is like the equivalent of my parents telling me to clean my room, and I just kick all my toys under my dresser and pretend like it doesn't exist. Like, this is like, hey, we created a horrible issue that has resulted in an 8-month-long off season. So we're just gonna say, hey, we're back, introduce all this crap, and then just hope nobody cares. I don't know, man.
All right, so being optimistic here, like I feel like we can give them some leeway because of them not doing production, them using what was it, Blast TV
Blast, yeah.
Yeah.
for their production. Like how much do we give them for that?
None.
None.
Never.
Well,
All right.
we
fair
talked.
I'm kidding.
enough.
Boost over ball, AJ, and I talked about this on the episode that went live this morning.
Yeah.
But one thing that we still don't know about the
Uh-oh, I
partnership
think he
is
died.
we
I
don't.
need you to try that one again there.
Yeah, let's run that back.
This episode is brought to you by Google
Hey, he's
Fiber.
back.
God dang it. But what I was saying is, boost over ball, AJ, and I talked about this on the episode that went live this morning. But, oh my God, like we don't know the extent of the partnership between Blast and Rocket League Esports. Like, is RLC, like, is Rocket League, like Psyonix and Epic, are they calling all the shots and Blast is just doing the production? Is Blast, like, have they said, you know, we're fully hands off, you guys do what you think is best, like, for it to be sustainable? Like what are the, is it like 50-50? Is it a collaboration? Like, how are they doing things? That's what I'm really curious about.
My main thing for my personal interest, because I mean, I work in the production scene. I started doing some RLCS production last season, and it was pretty straightforward. I mean, you got the team streams for the different events, then you kind of have the outside regions kind of like having their own major streams. But is Blast going to take over like the Mina streams, the Sam streams, the ones that are officially affiliated with RLCS, or is it just going to be RLCS mainstream is Blast and that's it, and then everything else is you got your own stuff? So I mean, I hope team streams are a thing because those are a lot of fun. Or is Blast saying, hey, there's no team streams, only our production? That's what I want to know. I don't know if we'll find that out for a while, to be honest.
I mean, I kind of feel like we we find out about it in 2 weeks.
True.
Although maybe like I could imagine that they would do team streams for like the double elimination and maybe for the Swiss stage because that's just way too many games to broadcast at one time. But definitely I think for the single elimination bracket, I think that they do the mainstream. So thankfully, again, like I said, we won't have to wait too long to see that. But that's another very good question I didn't even think about.
I'm gonna try and do some digging, maybe some investigating on how that stuff will work. But because the production aspect is my biggest thing. So I'll see what I can report on that. But
Yeah. But before we dive into another topic, we have a couple of things that need to be said. First and foremost, it was announced earlier this afternoon that Dries is going to retire. He tweeted out, retiring, don't have the passion to continue playing. Thanks for all the memories. Certainly an interesting tweet. I can't say that that's something that I expected. And secondly, we have another tweet coming in from Shift. After 5 years of competing together on the Peeps, Explosive, Gyro, and Arsenal are expected to team with Evo on Dignitas. So, a reunion between Gyro and Arsenal with Evo. So it's certainly a big win for Dignitas. I think that roster will do good things. So I'm excited to see what they can do. And then last but not least, we have a release, like a press release from the Rocket League Players Association. The RLPA is disappointed with today's RLCS announcement, in particular the lack of visibility and communication since the culmination of last season. We don't believe these changes have the players' interests at heart. We look forward to productive conversations with Psyonix to discuss how we can help build a better future for the esport. We believe this must include players' input. If you would like to help us, please join the Discord server and provide feedback in the allocated channels. For the players, by the players, RLPA.
I think that's expected.
I think so too. You've lowered the prize pool, you've decreased the number of international events, which if you're not going to, if the prize pool isn't going to be enormous, then getting to travel to these events as a player has got to be pretty exciting. Getting in front of the fans, that's really why you play, right? So removing one of those, lowering the prize pool, spreading the lower prize pool around between the other players seems like a lose-lose for lots of the people.
I have a feeling this time next year, the announcement post is going to be RLCS is rebranding to RLRCS, Rocket League Racing Championship Series. I think that's...
Don't even joke about that.
Can you imagine? Oh my god.
Unfortunately, yes, I can.
It just seems like what this post is about is just 2 words: budget cuts.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like to me. They're just... It seems like all eyes are pointed on Fortnite and Rocket Racing. As much as it hurts to say.
We'll have to wait and see. But we did this before. We'll do it again. We'll put you on the spot. AJ asked it the last time. Way too early. Who's your top 4 NA teams going to Major Number 1?
Oh, good lord. I
don't remember.
Thanks, AJ.
I got you.
So G2. I feel like that's obvious.
Yep.
I'm gonna go. I think Habro's gonna compete. I gotta look at the list of teams.
All right, that's what I'm talking about.
If someone wants to provide, I want to see Habro up there.
So we talked about it earlier. My top 4, I actually remember at this time, which is awesome, is G2 Stride. They new name level sponsorship for G2, so good for them. Gen G, with the addition of First Killer, I think that they are going to be one of the top teams in NA. Torment's Minions, which is Noli, Com, and JNaps. It's soon to be OG, which is Red Bull's esports organization. So G2, Gen G, OG, and then I have Space Station Gaming. I think that the addition of Chicago really helps out. I think that maybe a little bit of addition by subtraction with Arsenal, similar to how they did with Rlcs. I think that it really allows LJ to pop off, and I think that they will be able to perform really well. Following up closely behind, I think you have Luminosity. I think you have Habro.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of opportunities for some quote unquote bubble teams to, really make their mark and stick out?
Yeah, I went with G2, Genji, Torment's Minions, and then for my fourth one, I went with TSM. Going with the Hopium on that one.
Opium. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good take.
I think so too.
I'm just ready for it to be back. I'm ready for it to be back.
Me too.
I'm just having like nostalgic flashbacks to when a big group of friends and I we did our RLCS bracket challenge for the Boston Major, and I got every match right but 2. And I was like, holy crap.
That's insane.
Yeah, I got every match right but 2.
That's wild.
I had Furia winning it all from the upper bracket, and since they lost in the first round, that was the only thing I got wrong.
Dang.
That was the only one that I got wrong.
Well, you had Furia winning the whole thing. Talk about the Hopium.
Yeah, I had Furia winning. They were on fire. They were so good on lands, and they just get in Boston and like, hey, I hate this place, and they just crap the bed. I was hoping
they shit the bed so bad they went back to Sam.
Yes, they did, and they ruined my bracket. I got every match correct except for that.
They were so ashamed of ruining your bracket that they left the country.
Yeah, I ruined Pandy's bracket. We're going back to South America.
Well, we talked about it before. HAG missed an open net so bad he got kicked from the team.
God.
He got kicked from the whole continent.
Yeah. But so like with our most likely, now that we've all predicted some of the same teams, those teams will not be going to the major. So sorry about that.
Yeah.
But we did it earlier. We'll do it again. But I tweeted out for the last episode if anybody had any questions to drop them below. I didn't quite get to it in time, so we'll answer it now. Tweet from the court jester at the Sopre. Many people, especially since the release of Rocket Racing, claim the game is dead. I'd sign myself up to that side. Nothing innovative has been pushed by Rocket League, and there's been a large ignoring of community requests and information requests. What would you guys add to make Rocket League 2?
A second ball.
Another ball, yeah. Something
Literal-
for us
the literal
ADHD idiots to focus on.
Exactly.
No, I mean, honestly, first of all, put drop shot back. And then
Can we just agree to keep all extra modes in competitive?
yeah, just don't touch them. Leave them alone.
Yeah. We like
I
our
think-
extra modes here.
I don't even know if the UE5 project is still a thing, but I think that is priority 1 as far as a quote Rocket League 2, because that opens the door for everything else. Also, just that question can be taken multiple ways, whether it's on the pro scene or whether if it's on like just the actual in-game gameplay side. So I guess I can answer it both ways. I answered the gameplay side. As far as the pro side, I think more community-driven events. Bring back the freestyle events. Why aren't those a thing anymore? I know Vatira complained about it the one time and they stopped doing it forever after that. But I think more community-driven events for that reason, whether it's a Rumble tournament, yep, add it, or a freestyle event, or just something along the lines of that gets the community more involved. So it's not like, hey, you have to be 2,902s to be able to make this tournament.
The freestyle
more of an
event, you're talking about
yeah.
like what they did at Dallas, right?
Yeah, that too. You could like people can come up and play. I think that's what you're talking about, right?
No,
no,
AJ was
like
talking about
when
the
they-
like Ford freestyle.
Oh yeah,
Invitational.
Ford.
Yeah,
Yeah. That. I know sometimes at
That
lands
was
they would set up a
so
stage.
boring.
It was boring. Oh, I think it's cool. I
They
hate
missed
freestyling.
every single shot. If
I
they set it up
think-
to like an average of like 5 different shots, then they'd be more consistent with it and they wouldn't miss every single shot they took.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I think a Rumble tournament would be the coolest thing in the world.
That
Just
would be
saying.
so cool.
I am heavily biased, obviously, but can you imagine?
As much as I would like it, I feel like a snow day would be pretty boring.
Like, yeah, Snow Day would be very boring. I think for
Yeah.
Rumble, it would be have a qualifier, and a certain amount of teams can make it, and then they play against pro teams that want to be involved in it.
Yeah, Rumble would be insane. That
Rumble
would
would
be
be
so much
awesome.
fun to watch.
I mean, you saw in the Sunless Con video, the Rumble pros annihilated the regular pros
Yeah.
in Rumble.
Yeah, they weren't even good pros. I'm kidding.
Oh,
At V1.
but
Oh wait, never mind.
Yeah, we
But,
don't talk
I mean,
about that anymore.
like realistically though, to add to Rocket League 2, I think it's got to be a creative mode, similar to how like Fortnite has their creative
Yeah.
mode. I don't like the limitations
Playground.
in the engine aside. I think that really like adding that allows your community to really do the legwork on that one to like create your own content, right? So it's
Does
like if
Fortnite
you
have an in-game editor?
yes,
Oh my god, yeah.
It does?
yes,
Okay. So they have the in-game editor and they have the UEFN.
yes.
Okay. I think, you know, reiterating for K-Cube here, I think it would be cool if they did like a Trackmania type editor for Rocket League and they had UERL, just like UEFN, where you could like go into like whatever you want for the editor, like using your own
Builder.
objects and stuff like that. Yeah. I think that would be ideal.
So basically just a more refined workshop.
Essentially a simplified Unreal Engine specifically for the game. And a super simplified one like Trackmania's editor.
And I think with that too, some sort of community driven aspect of limited time modes alongside that. Like Lethamir has been building these crazy maps for so long, and he hasn't had a single one put in the game.
Exactly.
I mean, if
He
there's
has
one
a-
that's voted on every month, it's
He
like
has a class on how to build maps. And he posted on Twitter the other day about how graduates from that class were making their own maps, and he showcased some of them, and they're awesome. Everybody brings their own flair, their own creativity, their own unique ideas to map making. Allowing a lot of people to the ability to create maps will only do good things.
That's actually so cool. It makes me want to do it.
I love Lethamir.
But also,
He's so cool.
I want to hold out for UE5 and hopefully like some sort of UERL situation. I think that would be awesome.
I wonder how many years it has been since the initial UE5 announcement. Probably 3 now.
They haven't officially announced it, have they?
They did.
Did they?
It was a long time ago, yeah.
Well, they said like part of the reason that like all the resources aren't being dedicated to this is because we're also trying to work on UE5 integration.
okay. I thought it
I'm-
was just that one leak.
No, I want to say it was from Open, the Open announcement about free to play. It's been that long.
Oh, that could be. Wow, that was a while ago then.
That was over
Lord.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Dang.
Huh.
I don't know, man.
Well, that's slightly depressing.
One
Yeah,
day.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look up on RL Tracker, like the most recent season, it's like season 27 or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
Insane.
I remember talking to some of my friends who are like, "Yeah, we don't make it past season 20." And a lot of people still think we didn't make it past season 20.
Lucky
Yeah.
for them.
But I mean, with all the negativity that we've just been talking about, what we would add for RL2, the exciting part is just as the picture says on the screen, RLCS is back. That is exciting. We're gonna get Pro Rocket League in 2 weeks, basically, right? Like just over 2 weeks, which is incredibly exciting after a 9-month hiatus. I personally couldn't be more excited to watch Pro Rocket League again. I'm excited to see, what the new format brings. The type of competitiveness that we see, the type of some new teams, maybe some new organizations coming into play. But we've talked about all the negatives, but it's also possible that this is a good thing for Rocket League in the long term. But that's a little bit of copium, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. But do you guys have any final thoughts on this announcement, on RLCS in general, on Blast TV, anything like that?
Yes.
March when? and March where? That's what I want to know.
Me too.
Minimum age is 13. Thoughts?
Yeah, that one's
It's just to match Fortnite, I think.
yeah.
I don't know that it necessarily really has a ton of like impact on Rocket League, right? It's like you could say it's 13, but like maybe orgs don't sign 13-year-olds. You know?
I did
will if
see
they're
a
good
thing.
enough.
I did see a thing where there was. It's the same thing with Fortnite. I think. I don't know if it was like a hypothetical or if it was an official release. But there's some legal, like federal thing where you can't sign with a team until you're 14. So teams can play under the orgs and name, but they can't sign with them until they're 14. They can commit, but they can't sign.
Right.
It's just
I want
like
to say that's
minimum
what the
working
deal
age,
is.
right?
Yeah,
it's
minimum
like-
working age thing is 14.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
That's so weird. So like, it might actually just not happen where 13-year-olds just don't play.
yeah. That's
why
kind of what I
it's
thought.
like the college committing thing. Like you're in high school and you can you can commit
Yeah.
to like an org or a college and play for them
Yeah.
or play with them, but not sign yet.
That's so weird.
I mean,
I
who knows?
personally don't know any 13-year-olds that are cracked at Rocket League quite yet. So, well, I mean, there are plenty of them out there, but I don't know. Well, they'll surface for
Yeah,
sure.
Give me 14 years. Give me 14 years. My kid will be insane.
Snow Day main.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, I mean, you guys got anything else?
That's it for
New
me.
decals coming.
Yeah, new decals. Hopefully, that's long overdue.
Hopefully
We'll have
they're
to.
good. Hopefully they give every team enough notice to
Yeah.
make a good decal.
No kidding.
Goal explosions.
But with that, I think we'll wrap up the stream, the episode of the podcast, our video podcast here. So I thank you guys so much for tuning in, for listening, for watching, however it is that you're consuming this content. Remember to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, join our Discord, rate us 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts, like the video, all of that fun stuff. It really helps us grow our audience base and bring the show out to as many people as we can. Also, check out our YouTube, our Twitch, our TikTok, and our merch store. I'm kind of a walking brand right now. I got the hat, the hoodie, and I even got the nice coffee mug here that we got. These items and many more can be found on our website at boostoverball.com. You can also find our Patreon links and many more there as well. But from us here on the show, thank you so much for watching, listening, and tuning in. And as always, remember to choose Boost over Ball.
Thank you for listening to the Boost Over Ball podcast. Make sure to check out our website, www.boostoverball.com, and rate us wherever you listen to podcasts.